Good evening, good morning rather. Welcome to Update. This is news from the Edgemont. I'm going to be your host, Donovan Saadiq. And this is going to be real quick. We're going to try out this new format. This is something that we have been looking for, something that we can shoot real quick, even when we're out and about and getting things done. The WLC battle, it is warming up as the EIR is out and people are going through it. And we are going to be looking at the pros and the cons of the EIR. What I really want to talk about is the defamation lawsuits and intimidation by the pro-WLC supporters and Ido Benvizi and Highland Fairview. Now, some people have been, the reason why they use this stuff is to intimidate you from going to court, and nobody wants to go be dragged into court for like nothing. And when you don't have a lot of money to defend yourself, most likely you're not going to do it. And when you have money like Highland Fairview does, they can afford to get these attorneys and things like this. But here's one thing you got to understand. They do not plan on winning these lawsuits, because 9 times out of 10, when these lawsuits are brought to court, they're usually thrown out. And especially when it's against public officials. So, you know, for me, I don't understand how people who tell themselves that they're teachers and they're educators and, you know, I'm a science teacher or I'm this or I'm that, and they always tout their credentials. But, you know, if you're an educator, that's one of the fundamental rights, freedom of speech in the United States. And to criticize our elected officials is a fundamental right of a citizen of the United States. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, it's a duty to criticize your elected officials. It keeps them honest, and it puts them on the public record if they choose to defend themselves. So, you know, a lot of people get intimidated and get afraid about going to court, but that is just nothing but a tactic and a scare tactic. They'll even send you a letter from their lawyer saying if you don't cease and desist, it means absolutely nothing. And what I would do, because I've been threatened several times, and recently I've been threatened with a lawsuit. And you know what? I have nothing else to do but go to court, you know, and which they don't want me to do. But if you know the law, and I'm not an expert at law, but I took law in college. Like I said, I'm not a very educated man, but the point that I'm trying to make is this is a tactic that they're using to silence you from speaking out against the WLC or whatever else is on your mind. And you shouldn't be afraid. And, you know, people say, oh, well, you're young and naive and stupid. Well, you know, that's fine and that's your opinion. But anything worth having or worth fighting for, if you really believe in it, it doesn't matter if you're going to go to court. You know what? I can almost guarantee that if I go to court, it's going to be thrown out, because I make sure everything that I say is factual and it's based on facts. And if it's based on facts, you have nothing to fear. I will not maliciously post something that isn't based on fact or it isn't in the public record. One of the complaints is, oh, against this Mr. Gutierrez guy. Well, you know, what I said about him, it's a fact. When you do the things that he did, taking credit for something that he did not initiate, in my opinion, that makes him a jackass. And that's my opinion. And, you know, and if he doesn't like to be criticized, then maybe he shouldn't run for public office. So those of you, this is a quick update. Don't be afraid to go to court. Don't be afraid to fight for what you believe in. When they see that you do not care and you're willing to fight, and make them spend money on their lawyer, because the only person that's going to make any money out of this is the lawyer. So the lawyer, that's his job. That's what he does. But since this is a civil matter, a lawyer can't represent them in court. So they're going to have to either come up, which is these Idoites, people I call Idoites, people that follow Ido's every word. They're going to have to come to court and prove defamation. And you know what? That's very hard to prove, especially when you're not the person that's been defamed. That's my 2 cents. And as I always say, I'm out.